Hey, this is Pamela Schneider. I'm the retail editor for Blue Book Services, and I'm here with Eric from Procurement, and we're going to talk a little bit about, we had some big news from Procurement this week, signed on another big buying organization with Albertsons. I'd like to dig in to the why and how and what makes Procurement different than just ordering software. So just to start us off, can you give me that quick elevator speech about what Procurement is?
Sure. Hi, Pamela. And so I'll give you if it's a one floor elevator, if you and I are just for one floor, I would say we're a procurement platform for the perishables industry. If you and I are in the elevator for 10 floors, I would say what we are is really a digital platform and a network for the perishables industry. And the first application we have on our network is procurement. But it's our goal that long-term you'll be doing procurement, supply chain, and food safety, all in this one network. And then hopefully you would say, keep going, elevator, tell me more.
Well, yeah, let's say we've got 30 floors. So give me a few more nuggets of exactly what you do.
Yeah, so I think, our vision or our goal is, if you look at our industry versus other industries, most other industries have really moved down the digital path. They've got all their information in one place, they've got visibility of that information, and they're making better decisions. Our industry continues to be a paper-driven industry. It continues to be an industry where there are pieces of technology used in different places, they're disconnected, and consequently what all that contributes to is kind of, I won't say a lack of trust between all the trading partners, but a lack of understanding. And so they have different perspectives on what's really happening. And so what we're wanting to do is really digitize our industry. And we started with procurement because that's the most important transaction in our business, right? Because this is the only business where the inventory that's available for sale today is different than it was yesterday based on what the harvest was. The price is different. And for the retailer, this is the most important category because if you or I go to a place and it has bad produce, studies show after the third time, we're done with that retailer. And so, for retailers, produce is that's why it's on the right-hand side when you walk in the store. It's the most important category in the store. So what we're trying to do is create this network, this platform, if you will, where you can get all your information in one place to help you make better decisions, whether you're a grower shipper, whether you're a farmer, whether you're a wholesaler, distributor, or retailer. And that's what we're trying to do. And like I said, we started with procurement, because at the end of the day, the grower shipper wants paid and the retailer wants that produce in the stores.
Well, how is this different than other procurement softwares that are out there?
That's a good question. I mean, and I want to answer this in two ways, because I don't want to get into a wonky discussion of, well, this piece of technology does this. I want to start with kind of this orientation we took in building procurement. We're trying to be 100% customer centric in what you do. It's kind of the question of, well, why do you buy from Amazon every day when there are 15 other retailers online you could buy from? Well, because it's easy. It's easy to buy, and we've all had a great customer service experience. And we just had one in the office where they shipped us the wrong soda. They said, keep it, we'll ship you the right stuff, no charge. I mean, it's just that experience. So when we started this company, we said to ourselves, what we want to do is put the customer at the center of everything we do. And so it wasn't just building a piece of software that did A, B, and C differently than stuff on the market does. It was really, how do we build a superior technology? And what we did was we built a technology that's more like iTunes or Facebook and not an enterprise piece of software. It's infinitely scalable. It's built to potentially handle millions of users. And it's built in such a way that, it's like, why do people buy stock on Robinhood? Because it's easier. So how do we make this user-friendly and easy? The second thing was, in this customer-centric approach, how do we provide the best service possible? And I've been in retail for forever. And I remember this was 15, 20 years ago. I was walking the floor with the senior executive of Walmart. And I remember we're walking down the aisle, and he looks to the left, and he sees a woman having some issue in apparel. She's looking for something, he can't find it. There's this guy, the senior VP, excuse me, Eric, turns and walks away, walks over to the customer. Can I help you with something? And that moment has always lived with me, that you got to put the customer at the center of what you're doing. And so, our marketing guys, they send a letter out for me welcoming people to the company. And it was from me, I guess. I got someone 2 days later calling about, hey, I can't get this invoice thing working right here. What button am I hitting wrong? So I immediately called someone in my organization and say, call this guy right now and get it taken care of. And I thought that was kind of cool. People feel it's okay to email me with their tech problems. I can't solve them, but yeah, I'll do them. And so we wanted to make the industry feel like you got a problem, you got an issue, you got a question, there's going to be someone here to answer that phone and get in touch with you right away with that. And then, the last thing was, we believe that every day when you use our product, we want to be able to show you the value of our product. And what that means is, at the end of the day, we want to build solutions that are going to drive profit to your bottom line, whether you're the retailer or whether you're the grower shipper, and whether that's reducing waste, improving supply chain efficiency, increasing food safety, whatever that is. We want to be able to sit back a year from now and look at our solution and say, hey, it made a difference in my business. And so I think that's a better answer of what we're trying to do than to get into the nuts and bolts of why we think we've got this new solution that's going to change the industry. But the fact that folks like Albertsons have chosen our solution kind of tells you that we think there's something a little special there.
So how can Procurement enhance that relationship with vendors, or maybe help weed out bad actors, or something that may not have gone noticed before when we have all of these disparate silos within our organizations?
Yeah. Well, once again, there's like two answers to that. I mean, the easy answer is, well, we've got reports and you got stuff you can look at. And everybody will say that, yeah, well, in any industry, I can give you the visibility into the transaction to help you, better manage that relationship. But I think the thing that we do that's different. So why do you have issues with a vendor? Because of poor performance, or miscommunication or mistrust, right? So, it's our view as a grower shipper, the more data you can provide to your retailer about your business, the stronger that relationship is. And so when we built this platform, we made the ability you could take a photograph and attach it to the PO. You could take a video. You could, you can collect any piece of information you want on your dock in your business, and you can attach that in this transaction, and you can share it with your retail partner. So why does the retailer think there's a problem with the load? Well, they don't, you've been a poor performer in the past. They don't trust you. Whatever the issue is, we enable you to attach IoT devices to the technology. We allow you to provide any information you feel is important to strengthen your relationship with the retailer. And on the retailer side, we give the retailer the ability to ask for anything that they might want to ask out of that transaction or that relationship, and to give you the ability to share it. And that's one thing that's really unique about our solution. If you're on the dock and product shows up and it's spoiled, you can take a picture, boom, take a picture. You can, through our application, immediately message that to your supplier, saying, hey, look what I just saw here. What's the issue with this thing? And the supplier is able to text right back, well, here's the picture of it when it left our dock right here that I just took. Send that back and have a communication. So there's a strong social component to this thing that allows the relationship between the two to be more than just a computer-based enterprise software transaction relationship, but it allows them to communicate through the application, share data through the information. So beyond just scorecarding and evaluating people, you're able to really share that data that I would want to share with you in the moment to make that relationship stronger.
Okay, all right. Well, what do you think is, say someone signs on with Procurement, what are some of the things that they'll notice immediately as being one of your clients? And then, maybe what's something a year from now that they might notice as a long-term benefit?
Well, I think hopefully one of the things they're going to notice from day one is this was built as a mobile native application. We live in a mobile world. We live on our phones. And we all have so many applications that we use where it's mobile. No, what it is taking a desktop screen and jamming it on a mobile device, and I still got to follow the same process. Whereas, our team of mobile engineers designed it so that, if you got a PO change on the fly, you can make it right in the mobile app. You don't need to open the application. You can do it right as if you were doing something on mobile. And so, one of the biggest changes you'll see, and it'll be a training, or not training issue, but a reorientation issue for you, is you could do so much of your business on our mobile platform. I think the second thing you'll find out about this thing is like I said, we built this as an internet-based technology. And so what that allows us to do is to upgrades, to changes, to additions on a weekly basis. We're weekly making improvements to the solution. You're not waiting 3 months for some upgrade to some big solution. We're constantly doing things to the product, which allows us to make changes very quickly as customers are requesting new features and new functions in the product. So you're going to notice that. I think, and I'll be honestly, our technology is brand new versus technologies in the market that can be 10 and 15 years old. The workflow is easier. The look and feel of the application, I think, is easier to use. We worked closely with these retailers when we built this to find, and grower shippers, to find out, what do you need in an application? I think the last thing because at one time I was the CEO of FoodLink. The thing in the days when we had FoodLink was, it was a retailer application. It was built for the retailer. And one of my first observations when I came to FoodLink from being outside the industry at that time was, well, gee, you got 1,000 suppliers. What about them? What about the grower shippers? So when we started this application on day one, we took into account, what do they need too? This isn't a retailer buying system. This is a buying network that the retailer has for his or her order management. But the vendors in the industry and the grower shippers also have to get value out of the system. So we think we did a lot in the system that creates day-to-day value for them and how they use it.
All right. Well, this business, everyone talks, this is the elevator speech for produce, is that it's a people business, right? Yeah. We are so used to it relying on the face-to-face or phone calls. It's still a very strong part of the business. And so much of it is done the old-fashioned way. So what are you guys hoping that Procurement offers that helps enhance or move this mentality forward?
So that's an interesting question, because I get asked that by retailers, right? Because on the one hand, what we're doing is we're building I should have answered this in the previous question. We're building some fairly sophisticated AI tools to help with the automated ordering of produce. And so the natural thing will be, why can't the computer do the whole thing? Because it does the whole thing for center store. It does the whole thing for CPG product. We don't have people making decisions. And the answer is because produce is a more complex problem, right? It's a much more complex buy than it is buying Cheerios and putting it on the shelf each week and twice a year having your promo. And so the way we like to think about this problem is that 80% of what you do every day in buying and selling produce is just transactional. It's the same old, same old. There's 20% of the issues that come up. You got more product today than you thought. You got to get it out the door. You got less product today than you thought. How are you going to parse that out among your retailers? The retailers sell more watermelons than they thought. And the watermelons are coming in with more damage than they thought, but they got to take them because they need them in the store. There's a whole lot of independent human decisions that need made. And so what we help to do in this people business is take 80% of what you shouldn't be focusing on and take care of it for you, and let you focus 100% of your time on the 20% of the problems, instead of 20% of your time on 20% of the problems. And so we feel if we do that, what we do is we actually make the buyers in the retail organization even more valuable, because then what we're doing is letting them focus on the real issues that they have in their business. And we know on the grower shipper side, the last thing you want is some computer telling you what to do and having no human interaction with your buyers. That's so important. And that's why we have people chat on our network all day long. A grower shipper retailer can place an order and the grower shipper can be chatting with them, because we have a social component that sits in the network. You can chat with me and ask me a question. People can do that. So we're not trying to take the technology and take the people out of it. What we're trying to do is take the stuff that technology does best and do that, and then let the people do what they do best, which is really managing the difficult problems and those issues. So, you know, I tell every retailer we talk to, we're not taking the people, because of course buyers, oh, my job and make computer everything, and there's grocery shipper saying we have no relationship. That's not the case at all. What we're doing is we're trying to create more value in the communication the retailers and the grocery shippers have, and the mundane stuff we let it take care of itself.
All right, I think you covered everything that I wanted to know about this. Is there anything I didn't ask that you think everyone needs to know?
You know, no, I think, I think the important thing to understand is, you know, we are trying to really digitize this industry. And it's not a scary term where we're going to have computers taking over the industry. What we're trying to do is put all your information in one place so you understand what you're doing every day to make better decisions. And, you know, we talked a lot about buying, but we over the course of the next year, could be bringing we have food safety solutions today. It's used by retailers, by food service and restaurants. We're bringing that to the industry. And we're bringing transportation solutions to the industry because we want to just make it easier to do business. You know, when I started this company, one of the slides I used was I tell people that in our industry, 9 cents of the dollar goes to the farmer. That's it. You know, and so if there's one aspirational goal that we have here at Procurement, is to figure out how to put more pennies in that guy's pocket. And we're going to do that by reducing the waste, by improving the efficiency of this industry, increasing the safety of our industry. And so, you know, we're not done. We're in the first inning of what we're going to do here at Procurement. Like I said, if you got a problem, you all have an email from me. You have my email address.
All right. Well, thanks, Eric, and I will.